Hi, I'm Gloria Chapa, and this is my art studio at Otis Street Arts Project. I've been here 5 years. I was their first tenant, and it's been a really good 5 years. But before I get started, first of all, I've got 5 points I'm going to cover, but the first point is that this is a virtual reality tour. So if you check the top left-hand corner of your screen, there's a little icon with arrows on it, and you can scroll around and walk through the studio as I talk. You do not have to stay focused on me. Number 2, I have a website, gloriachapa.com. That is where you can see my work. There's quite a few neat pieces, and you will understand what I'm getting at a little bit more once you see the finished product. Number 3, this is my incubator. This is where I make the work and think about it and get critiqued by all sorts of people. Some welcome, some not. I collect things to use, and unfortunately a month ago I had a flood, a massive flood in here. So what you see in this incubator has been extremely cold. I threw away a lot of stuff. Got wet, got moldy, got smelly, but this is what I salvaged. And what helped me survive was something one of my old professors from way back told me. He said, Lester Van Winkle said, go to the studio, whether you want to or not. Keep it up. Go every day, even if you just stare at the walls. And sometimes you will find me just staring at this blank wall. I try to have a blank wall in all my studios so I can do just that. Point number 4, the medium that I use. Yeah, it's trash. Yeah, people say, oh, she does recycle art. Well, that just happens to be the material I use. There is no set specific item that I will focus in on, like paint or marble or wood. Everything is game for me, from raw materials, 3D prints, foodstuffs, potato chips, and onion skins. I live by one of Robert Louis Stevenson's famous quotes. The world is so full of a number of things, I'm sure we should all be happy as kings. 5. This is the last point I'm going to cover, and it is stuff. I'm going to pick up things and follow me around if you can, so you can see what's in that area that I use. It's a quickie. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be detailed. First of all, femur. I went to a dinner. The host had leg lamb. I took it home with me and cleaned it. Got it scanned by David Mordini. Got it 3D printed. This top part is a 3D print. Tried to use a 3D print as a mold. It didn't work, but this is very interesting. I still like staring at it. And then I finally did get a femur. So this piece is not finished. These are just objects that I have made and hope to somehow incorporate. Eggshells. I collect eggshells. In that chest over there, I have 50 dozen eggshells. I find them so interesting. Look how white they are. Look how they reflect light. Look at the inside. But they have a lot of power, so transforming them will be not easy. What else? CDs. I have CDs. Look at here. These are collected by friends and family, and I make them into shards. And actually, on my website, you can see a vessel that I made out of CDs. Cow horns. Oh my God. I have had these 20 years ago. A student in Colombia was walking to my class, and he went by the slaughterhouse, and there was a bag full of these. And he knew who would like them, so he brought them to me. I have yet to use them, but I find them inspiring. I like to run my hands over them, and eventually, someday, they may come to take part in my art. Onion skins. I do onion skins. I save them. As I peel the onion, I save the outer skin. And you can probably see this. This top part is a bowl made out of onion skins, yellow onions and red onions. And down at the bottom, I have twisted tree vines. So this is all scavengered stuff. I also have mushrooms. I learned to do wet origami, and I made these little mushrooms for an installation. Hundreds and hundreds of them. I save the foam that you get cold cuts and onions and vegetables at the grocery store. And I found that you can etch into them very, very well. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have managed to etch an image of a Virgin Mary. Yes, some of my work tends to be a little religious. And as I said, I do metal, bicycle parts, ladders, aluminum chairs. If you don't want them, I'll take them. And I cut them up. This is one of the frames that I've made out of aluminum. I leave them this way. I think they have more character than if I were to clean them up. I've made about 10 of these. They are aluminum brains. A friend of mine had a brain tumor, and it inspired me to start making these. They've appeared in several of my installations. Something to think about. So there you go. Here's my latest. It's a collage. I've never worked collage before, but it's not going to be a flat collage. It's got dimensions to it. It's a 3D kind of thing. This is a weed that I resined and let it dry. It's just hanging on a branch. There's a little statue of another Virgin Mary, and then all sorts of imagery that has drawn me as I was flipping through a paper or a magazine. And I like the texture, I like the color, I like the image. And then I reconfigure it to be something else. This piece here was started before the pandemic. And people think several people have walked in and thought that I was doing it in response to the pandemic. So as an artist, you know how that happens. It just sort of comes to you and you start on it, and sometimes it does reflect what you're starting to feel about the ambient environment, physical and mental. Okay, I think that's the nickel tour. There's a lot more stuff in here. If you saw anything that you want to talk about, or if you've got some trash that you think I might be interested in, drop by. After the pandemic, we should go back to having our art openings, which are always a lot of fun, at Otis Street Arts Project. So if you have questions, like I said, there should be an inquiry button down at the bottom of the screen. Leave the question, I'll get back to you. Thanks for listening to me.